We're back at the top of the track with Joe, Barack, and George. It's going to take one more turn of dashing for you to reach your allies. Did you all want to continue running to them, or do anything differently?
Nope, just going to keep running to reconnect with the party.
Same, just going to keep running along, huffing and puffing, as I clang through the passages with my heavy plate armor and shield at the ready.
I just keep on running. I'm going to be somatically preparing to cast a spell, letting my eldritch magic swirl around me for flavor.
You all continue to run down the passage and see a light up ahead held by Don as he lets loose a series of scorching rays down a western passage. You don't see what he's attacking, only that he seems pissed as he shoots those rays. Moments later, you see Droop run up to Don, covered in a yellow-like jelly before he is smacked in the face with another glob of ooze like a sucker punch from a bowl of gelatin. Don, we're back to you.
With everyone else showing up, I'm going to say, hey, bozos, better late than never. I had to save Droop's ass again, no thanks to all of you, and blast the ooze with a firebolt. Oh, brother, that's a 13 to hit for only 2 fire damage.
Your ember of a firebolt hits the ooze, but doesn't do that much damage. Droop, it's your turn.
I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage using Nimble Escape again to get myself some space so I don't have to attack with disadvantage and shoot at it with my bow. Ouch, that's a crit fail with a 10 to hit.
Well, I'll just go ahead and say it. This ooze has only 8 AC. Even though your roll was a critical fail, you still hit it. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Wow, that is so weird. All right, I'll take it. I rolled 10 piercing damage on that hit. I shouldn't have even moved at that point. I could have marked the ooze with a hunter's mark.
It uses its turn to flee. It starts to crawl up the cavern wall and into the darkness, attempting to slip through the cracks in some rubble. Although it is squeezing through quickly, Joe, you are up next and see this monstrosity trying to escape. It is your turn.
I'm going to do what I've been wanting to do since this whole encounter began. I'm going to sneak and stab, baby. I run up behind the escaping ooze and stick it with my rapier with a victory squaw. I rolled a 15 to hit for 5 piercing damage and an additional 4 from sneak attack for 9 damage in total.
That's enough to finish it off. How do you do it?
I just turn the corner, run down the passage, and shove my rapier into the jelly with a loud squaw, and it just collapses and oozes around the ground and is no longer moving. I get my feet covered in the jelly as I pick my feet up and say, bro, this is so nasty.
After dealing with the ooze, you all take a moment to observe the area. The sound of dripping water can be heard from the northern passage. A fishy smell hangs in the air, but it's something other than the twisting passages you have grown accustomed to.
I think we need to head north and away from this labyrinth. We don't need to get separated again somehow. Who knows how many jellies are back there?
A good idea, I'll lead us through the passage.
Better you than me. I've already done my heroics for the day. You all can pick up some of the slack for once.
You all continue down the north passage that opens up into a large chamber with a reservoir of water. A still pool fills much of this cavern. The water is dark, revealing little of what might lie within. The shore of the pool consists of a thin layer of broken shells from strange pale mussels, and a fishy odor hangs in the air. A passage leads south from this area, where you just came from, and a set of steps climbs up to the east. A sluggish stream flows out of the cave to the northeast.
So what? No monsters? No tentacle-wielding, gibbering mouthers that want to suck out our insides and lay eggs in our chest cavities? Just an empty pool of water with a door to the east? There's got to be something in here. No way this is just a room with nothing in it.
Getting a little meta there, Joe.
Hey, man, I'm just saying. Usually dungeons always have something in every room. I bet there is something in that pool. Hey, Droop, want to go swimming?
Wise do eyes haves to do's its. Wise don't use goes into the stinky pools.
How about this? If you find something neat, you get to keep it. As long as someone gets whatever's down there, that's all that matters to me. Look, if you don't find anything, you can say you took your bath for the day, and we won't make you bathe during the next long rest.
Hold on a second. Why are we just giving shit away to Droop just because he finds it?
Then why don't you go in, Don?
Yeah, fuck that. All right, Droop, you want me to throw you in so you can find shit quicker or what? Chop chop, little man.
I just shake my head at Don and ask Joe to move closer so I can have some extra light. I wade myself through the water, diving under if I need to. Do I see anything in this pool?
You do. As you move into the water, you find a horrific figure, a skeleton at the bottom of the pool. It is covered in torn robes that have become worn over time while under the water. You find it is clutching a wand of some kind and wears 2 platinum rings on its fingers.
Hell yeah, I'm taking all of that. Look out, nerds. Droop is a motherfucking wizard now.
You climb the steps going east and enter into a dark hallway. The path goes north and up another flight of stairs, but cannot see beyond that. Across the way is a closed wooden door.
Like normal, I want to be in front for the marching order. Which way do we want to go, fellas? North or through this door?
There's never been a door that I didn't want to kick down. Let's go east through the door.
Did you want to kick it down, or are we going to be subtle?
I'm gonna walk up to the door and say what I said before a long time ago. Mama didn't raise no bitch. I let out a squaw and kicked down the door. Let's fucking go, boys. Squaw!
You kick down the door, of which was unlocked, to reveal what seems to be a barracks. Old stone bunks line the walls of this barracks, which is lit and heated by a glowing iron brazier in the middle of the room. Across the room is another door, this one blocked by a barricade made from the remains of a wooden table. More importantly, you see a set of 5 eyes staring at you, Joe, as you have alerted this room full of bugbears to your presence. Joe, your rapier of warning begins to glow, but it's too little, too late. The biggest, strongest, and least intelligent one points at you and yells out, "You ain't the boss! Get 'em, boys!" Everyone please roll for initiative.
Maybe this wasn't the best idea. I think I just pooped a little. I rolled a 15.
Yous did a dumb, Joe. I rolled a 26, baby. Let's get to clapping bugbear cheeks, my guy.
Way to go, Birdbrain. I rolled an 8.
So much for me going in first. I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 16. I'm just happy I'm not front and center like you, Joe.
All right, Droop, you are up first in the track. There are 5 bewildered bugbears in the room ahead.
I'm going to peek from behind Joe and take 2 shots at a single bugbear with my short bow using my Dread Ambusher feature. I rolled a 16 to hit on the first shot for 10 piercing damage and 3 extra from Dread Ambusher. The second shot is a 21 to hit for 10 piercing damage. I'm also going to use Fury of the Small to add an extra 2 damage to the final result. That gets me a total of 25 damage. Please tell me I killed this dude.
I want to give it to you, but he's still standing. He is flabbergasted as 2 arrows thunk into his chest. Blood pours out the front of him as he grabs his chest. One of the bugbears yells out a vicious battle cry and charges at you, Joe. He attacks you with a large, meaty morning star. He brings it down on your head, dealing 15 piercing damage. The bugbear is blocking the entrance to this room and would be difficult for you all to move in without pushing him out of the way. Barak, it is your turn.
I'm going to my action to cast Dissonant Whispers on the bugbear that's blocking the doorway. He needs to make a DC 14 wisdom saving throw or take 17 damage and be forced to run away from us. Otherwise, he takes half of the damage and doesn't run away.
He fails the save and begins to flee. Evil whispers cascade around his ears, and something is said to him that really freaks him out because he is darting to the corner of that room.
Oh, baby, can I take an attack of opportunity?
Unfortunately not. Since he is not moving of his own free will away from you, that does not provoke an attack of opportunity. Another bugbear rushes at you, Joe, and brings down his morning star against you. He hits you, dealing 9 piercing damage. While one bugbear was feared out of that space, another fills his spot, blocking the path. Joe, it is your turn.
I am not doing very squaw right now. I'm going to stab this bug boy with my rapier. That's a 22 to hit for 11 piercing damage, and an additional 6 from sneak attack for a total of 17 damage. I'm then going to use my cunning action to disengage away from the front line and get back behind Barak to lick my wounds.
You take a nice hit out of this bugbear as you skillfully do a tactical retreat, leaving George in the front line where some might argue is where he should be, instead of a cocky rogue who thinks kicking down a door in the dangerous final dungeon of this module is a good idea. Another bugbear makes a charge for the entrance, passing the one who just attacked Joe to clash with George. He screams wildly as he brings down his Morningstar, but George, you easily take the brunt of the blow with your shield, sustaining no damage. The bugbear gives off a vicious snarl. Upset, the squishy target is gone.
I hold up my shield, blocking the blow from the bugbear, and yell out behind me to Joe and say, maybe let me kick down the doors from now on?
George, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm going to attack this bugbear in front of me. After I block his attack with my shield, I want to bring down Talon onto him. Rolling a 16 to hit for 8 slashing damage, I'm going to burn a first-level spell slot to do a Divine Smite, to deal an extra 7 radiant damage for a total of 15 damage.
You bring Talon down with radiant energy and slash across this bugbear's chest. He howls out in pain from your holy fury, but still has plenty of fight in him. Don, it's your turn.
All right, I know we're kind of in a narrow hallway and George is right in front of the bugbear holding him off while we all blast their ass. Is it possible that I could move into George's space and cast Burning Hands to get the 2 bugbears in front of him and then move back so I'm not in the front line?
So, rules as written say that you can move through a non-hostile creature's space, but it is considered difficult terrain. However, you can't end your turn willingly on their space. The only time I'd say you can share a space with an ally is if one of you is incapacitated. If you want to do this, you can, but you will need to move back out from George's space, which can provoke an attack of opportunity.
I want to say if you do this, I don't have my channel divinity up since I used it on Emissary of Peace, so I can't do Rebuke the Violent on them. But if you can take out these two bugbears, we can push forward into their room.
Right, I think it's worth the risk. I'll move up and do Burning Hands at a second level to get as many enemies in my 15-foot cone as I can. That's a DC 13 dex saving throw or take 16 fire damage.
You burn the one in front of George to a crisp and he falls to the ground. The bugbear behind that one beat their saving throw and only took half, although they are not looking too great and are on the brink of collapsing.
Awesome. I'm going to take a step back to where I was without provoking an opportunity attack since Bozo is dead. All right, George, get your ass in there and finish them off. Let's do this, boys.
Two bugbears, one of which was sent running off by you, Barrack, draw javelins that are mounted on the walls of this barracks and hurl them at George. One of the throws fails, striking your shield. But as you raise your shield to block the blow, the other one catches you in your arm, George. You're taking 7 piercing damage from the blow. The bugbear who made contact with you lets out a victorious whoop as your arm pours blood from your wound. Droop, it is your turn at the top of the round.
I'm going to pull out my new wand of magic missile. If I remember correctly, there are 4 more bugbears, 3 of which are hurt pretty bad right now. I'm going to use a single charge on the wand to shoot 3 darts out, 1 at each of the wounded bugbears. Since magic missile auto hits unless they cast shield or counterspell it, I roll a 3, a 5, and a 3 for each dart.
That's awesome! The first and second dart smack 2 of the wounded bugbears right in the face. Magical energy bursts and finishes them off. Evocation magic smoking off of their corpses. The last dart hits the other bugbear in the chest and nudges him back. While he doesn't look good, that dart wasn't enough to finish him off. Anything else for your turn?
Can I use a bonus action to do Hunter's Mark on the fresh bugbear?
I'm afraid not. Since you cast a spell for your action, you cannot cast another spell this turn. The only way you can cast multiple spells is if you did a bonus action spell and then cast a cantrip for your main action. Since Magic Missile is usually a first level spell or higher, spellcasting rules say you can't. Sorry.
That's it for me then.
The bugbear who took that last dart pulls a javelin off the wall himself and hurls it at George, trying to get him like his fallen comrade did. He gives a valiant throw, but it just tinks off your armor, George. Barrack, it's your turn.
I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hex on the weak bugbear and Eldritch Blast him, moving into the room. I rolled a 16 to hit for 7 force damage with an additional 6 necrotic from Hex for a total of 13 damage.
You got him. Want to give it some flair?
I just walk in, flick my wrist to put the Hex on him, causing purple magical energy to circle him. He looks around dumbly for a moment before I cast my Eldritch Blast to make him a red stain on the wall behind him, before looking to the last standing bugbear.